Good afternoon, everybody. This is Host Logic. I'm doing some trading with you guys live, just kind of showing you what I'm looking at. We see here the 60 is trending up nicely, 40 is trending up. Now we are getting in the oversold area, so we might pull out of this. I was hoping that it would get a good push up to the upside here, but I'm going to be safe than sorry because we've had a pretty good extension here, but just wanted to show a quick trade example of what we've been looking at on this recent push up, and of course it continues up, but I never ever feel bad about what I didn't get. I'm happy to make $320 in this account today, and I did about 500 last night in Asia session, so perfectly fine. So some people also like doing the trend lines. Some people don't like doing the trend lines. I particularly do, because I just want to kind of see if price is going to break out of something, where a channel is ending at, where a channel is beginning at. So for me, I kind of like the idea of knowing, okay, where are we at in this particular area? And then looking at our stochastics to see what we could find. And I'll go over that here in just a minute. Boy, we got a crazy push up right there. Now, I don't really care about some of these outer swings in and out of it. That's just going to happen, especially when we get like a rotation setup like we did here. But what this can help you with, I mean, this thing just tore the heck off all of a sudden, man. So what this helps with is, for instance, like this. You can see here, let me pull this down a little bit. We've been in a really good push up, but if you're not sure where to enter at, as we see our signals being posted here, you'll see every time we pull back into a channel, and then we could take that long. We know that we're in an uptrend because trend lines are pointing up and the EMAs are pointing up, profit waves pointing up. That's the way you trade. And every time you get a dip, as long as we're either embedded like we are here, or we get a quick rotation to the downside, this is a good quad rotation as well too. You'll get a signal to take it long, and then you can take that long, and then you know to get out, both when your stochastics get to the oversold area or you get to the top of the previous channel. So this kind of helps you just take some good trades. You don't have to weather those pullbacks because some of them can be quite deep. You can even counter trend some of these as it's pushing through and take it short and know that you can get out of it once you get to the bottom of it. But we are always wanting to go with the trend because you don't know how quickly this is going to reverse. It could pull back like it did up here, or it could even break through that channel a little bit and then continue on. But just look at how many good setups come up in this strategy by trading it this way, just by using stochastics to say which way is price going, throw in a basic channel to see what you're doing, and then now you're well defined. Now we broke out of this channel here and we are just screaming to the upside. So to me, I'm looking for this to probably come down here after a while because we just broken up so high to the top side. You look at the traditional measured move of what these moves have been, we're kind of at the extension of this. Now, do we come over and start catching this previous price structure? That's a potential. But for me, that's an abnormality, basically. Like I'm looking for this to slowly start rotating back to the downside now because that's a straight move to the upside to me. And then you can kind of see now here, this is where channels help you by seeing, okay, we could start taking some of these short signals because now we're starting to trend down. Now the EMAs are starting to flatten out and rotate to the downside. So then I'd want to start looking for short setups, any kind of alerts. And I do have my trading view up and running as well too. So I'm looking for, the alignment signals. I'm looking for the chop 2 signals. I'm looking for what the algos are doing. But if I'm not trading in TradingView anymore today, because I did about $1,100 in my funded accounts today, I'm going to focus on some of my Ninja stuff. So this is kind of how I use it, what I do, and what I'm looking for some of the setups here. So I wanted to quickly show you, I seen it right here, and I wanted to give you guys a quick tutorial on what I'm looking for a divergent setup, and then we're going to go ahead and look at a lip formation or flag pattern. It's kind of a little bit differently, but all right, so here we could see prices trending aggressively to the downside. Let's put this in orange, and we'll make it a 3 so people can see it. So you see how we're trending very down on price and to the bottom of a channel that's been pretty well defined, and we're on top of an EMA, and then on top of that, we're now getting another clear divergence. And you do see the divergences a lot more clear on NinjaTrader just because of the way that the stochastics are laid out. And that's really the only reason why. I do like the multi-stock, especially because, if I'm not able to really pay attention to the screen all day long because I'm working, it's good just to have that compressed utility to it. But when you're looking for just some really good divergence setups, that's what you're looking for. So that's kind of what I wanted to explain to you guys. Even here, this kind of tells you price is trending to the downside, but nope, we're not doing that. So we can take and bring this over here, for example, and I'll show you. We see prices kind of trending to the downside, but in reality, our momentum is to the upside. So that tells you, as we're again coming into the bottom of the channel, and if we don't have this channel defined yet, because price would be right here, so maybe the channel is not so defined, but then you're looking at your EMAs. So that's a good support when you see a rotational setup coming to the bottom of a channel. That divergence is everything. And I don't care what the 60 is doing. When I'm seeing a big divergence, it's pretty steep like this, a 30-degree, 35-degree angle type of divergence, I'm going to take that to the upside. I won't even wait for a buy signal. I'll just take the trade. Now, if you want to be a little bit more cautious about it, you can wait for it to break through the profit wave and or get your first like a bullish dot, because that's going to come a little quicker. Either way, that would be perfectly acceptable. It just depends on your risk tolerance right there. But that's kind of what you're looking for in that regards. Now, I'm trying to find a good lip divergence for you guys here. A lot of divergences today, too. I need a good consistent move up is what I'm looking for. That's probably a little bit of one right here. You'll see that this is pretty much a lip divergence here because it's also a divergence, but it's also a lip as well too, where you're going to get a move to the upside. It's going to pull down and then still continue to the upside. That just shows you that momentum is even pulling down, but price is still staying aggressively to the upside. So when we catch this divergence, we're also seeing this lip as it's coming as well too. And that's also good for a flag pattern too. Typically a flag pattern is going to be when you have an extended move to the upside, and we just don't have that right here, unfortunately. Maybe this would be a good flag pattern right here. When we've got to move up, we're pulling down, but the stochastics don't rotate all the way to the downside. We're just trending up. We have that move to the downside, but it breaks right here above the 25 level. That's a pretty good flag pattern right there. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's when you're kind of trending up, but then price pulls back a little bit on you, but we're still in a good bullish trend. That's a flag pattern, and you'll see it because it's typically followed by a slight pullback, but not a really huge pullback. It's usually sustained above that level right there. So that's a good example of a flag pattern in my case, to where you're going to pull back. We're just pulling back into the profit wave. We did break it here a little bit, but we're also holding these EMAs, and they're still trending up. The 60 is still embedded or slightly going up. So that's just a pullback, and you could enter a good long trade there to get a push. I don't know why we didn't get a buy signal here, honestly, but we did here. But that dot would be a good reason, a good solid close above and through the profit wave, and then we're just continuing the upside, no wicks to the downside, and then, target the top of the channel or this previous price structure. So just wanted to give you a couple of examples of what I look for when I'm trading and kind of what I'm seeing. And this thing is just tearing up still, my god. And it did actually target this upper range here, but I just wanted to get in a quick trade, show you what I'm looking for, show you some of the killer signals and what stochastics can do for you. Now, I would definitely start looking out now, because now we're starting to see some sell volume and the stochastics are just absolutely pegged to the top right now. We're starting to slightly pull back a little bit, so I would expect at least a pullback to the downside. So I bet you could even counter trend this a little bit and pull down slightly, even just into the profit wave, and catch another $50 even. Who cares? You know, if it's $100, if it's $25, I don't care what it is really. But just wanted to show you what I see and what I do and what I look for. So you guys have a great day.
Order filled.
Appreciate everything.